Hey, David, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm really excited to interview you. For those of you that don't know, David is an experienced day trader, very successful day trader. He's been at this for some time. Not only is he trading every single day, but he's also someone who's educating in the space. He's teaching other people how to do what he does. Maybe not quite as successful as him, but he's teaching them every day. So he's a great person to have on, and he's a true influencer in the best sense of the word. So we are excited to be here with David. So David, let me just kick it off and ask you, how did you get started trading?
Hey, thanks for having me, Peter. So I got started trading when I was 18 years old in college. I was a freshman and I was pursuing violent performance. So I was very passionate in music. And next thing you know, at the time, my parents' financial situation wasn't good. So I really wanted to hustle and make a lot of money. And I found a roommate that, that, really was talking about stocks, and he didn't really know what he was doing, but I was really interested. And hey, I really want to get into stocks. And he told me about this app, and he's like, yo, go sign up. It's free. And I followed this one guy, and he said that, buy into this biotech stock. And so, I was young, naive, and really just, really broke at the time. I only had $2,000 and went all in. And next thing you know, I was super nervous. Like, this is my first investment ever, and pulled my phone out during the middle of the class. And next thing you know, I made $300 in 30 minutes. And I was so inspired by that, because at the time I was like, wow, I had to bust my butt to work and make that kind of money, for 8 hours. But, in 30 minutes, I was really blown, and I just decided to leave class. And that's how my journey began, starting from the library.
Wow. So your first trade, you started with $2,000 and you made a couple $100 really quickly thereafter. How did you learn to trade? What did that teach you going forward?
So yeah, again, it started from the library. I just asked the librarian, hey, can you just take me to a session of investing and trading? And at the time, I wasn't really, sure what the difference between investing and trading was. So I was just studying a lot of investing, and it found that, it's not something that I really wanted to do. I was really more interested in the trading side. So basically, for those that are, watching this, the difference between investing and trading is basically, it's if you're investing, you're buying a stock, right? And you're hoping to, sell higher, next few months or next few years. So you're holding on to that stock. Versus trading, we're basically buying and selling stocks within the same day. So it could be literally seconds to minutes to within the same day. So I got really interested in the idea of trading. And so, just like everyone else, I decided to just go on Google, go watch YouTube videos, anything that was free, because, at the time I was broke and I just couldn't afford buying mentorships and stuff like that. And I think that took a long time, because I think there's a lot of information on the marketplace and the internet, but there's a lot of misinformation as well. So it took a lot of time for me. It took me about 3.5 years for me to kind of weed out the misinformation and what works and what doesn't, a lot of trial and error. But that's how I got started.
Okay, that's incredible. So starting with that $2,000 and growing your book, how much did it grow in the first year as you were learning about trading?
Actually, first year I was doing really good. I was just kind of blindly following this guy, and I was studying through it, but it was working out. I thought, just following this dude, I'm up $27,000. Turn that $2,000 into $27,000. I'm like, I'm 19 years old. That's the most amount of money I ever made. I was thinking, wow, like, this is great. Like, I don't even think I have to go to school for it, but I still wanted to finish my college. So I still was, doing my violent performance studies and, doing my stocks. And second year comes, just like everyone else, you take a loss, right? So I took a $20,000 loss, and I was really, really disappointed. I'm like, maybe this isn't it for me, right? And you get that doubt, and next thing you know, I'm still up. You know what? I'm not going to give up. I see a lot of, potential here. I just kept going. Didn't give up. And by the time my senior year in college, I turned that $27,000 into over $123,000. So that was my first six figures by the time I graduated college, and that's just how I kept going.
Yeah, that's incredible. When you think about, to your point, the difference between an investor and getting a 10% compound annual return and how long it would take you to make that same amount, that's pretty staggering. So do you think there were certain things that you learned, say, from being a violinist, being a musician, that you were able to apply to trading to make you more successful? Or did you just learn it, like you said, through Googling and picked up the skill that way?
That's a really good question. I think there is definitely benefits that I gained from music. I think, especially musicians, we tend to read music ahead, right? So like 3, 4, 10 notes ahead of time. It's kind of like playing chess. You want to think, 5, 6 steps ahead of your opponent. So same thing with trading. You want to think about, okay, what are the next moves, right? You got to, plan the trade and trade the plan. So there's a lot of planning involved. There's a lot of, different, points that you got to kind of plan ahead. And I think if you do that successfully, which I did, that's how, you become a really successful trader. And I found out that there's a lot of psychology involved in trading. So I would say 80% of trading is a lot of psychology. So you learn to manage your emotions very well. You got to learn to accept that, losses are part of winning. And, if you can keep understand the process and trust the process, that psychology, and you maintain, even on the bad days, on the red days, you got to just keep pushing and, learn from your mistakes. And the other 20% is, I would say, risk management and technical analysis, which is where, you're going to kind of analyze the charts of the stocks and figure out where are the buying points, what we call support areas, and resistance areas are areas that we want to sell, right? Areas that a lot of, point where a lot of, selling is going on. So that's where you want to sell. You want to buy at support areas where a lot of demand there is. It's just like kind of supply and demand. So if you kind of be good at understanding the concept of psychology and risk management and technical analysis, you're going to be a very successful stock trader.
There's a lot there to digest, right? So you've learned all of these skills over time. Is that what led you, once you sort of distilled this information, you learned these skills, is that what encouraged you to start prosperity trading? Or was it something else? Did you see a need in the marketplace? And how did that get going?
No, I just kept trading on my own. I was not interested in mentoring or selling anything. I was always just very happy just trading on my own. I shared some ideas on an app, kind of like Twitter, where, hey guys, like I'm looking to personally buy the stock. I think it's going to go to a certain target price, share some ideas. People would ask me questions. So I was very just sharing openly to the public of what I'm doing. And next thing you know, a lot of people started following me on social media. I'm like, yeah, I really like your idea. I took it up and I made like, $3,000, $10,000. And I was just getting blown away. Like, wow, like some of these guys are making more money than me. And so they were reaching out to me like, hey, I really want to learn this. Like, I want to learn this from you. You know what you're doing. Do you have any like a paid program or mentorship? I said, I don't have any of that. I'm just happy just sharing with you guys. And, just a lot of emails just started flooding in. They're like, I really want to learn from you. You got to start some sort of a paid program, man. Like, and I said, you know what? I'll give it a try. So I took in 3 people the first day, and next thing you know, a year goes by and there's 300 members, just word of mouth. And I was just blown away. I'm like, wow, like people are really digging this. Like they're really telling other people about this program, and they're talking about how much lives they've changed since, they quit their 9 to 5, and just all these stories just really inspire me. And that's when I got, wow, like, you know what, I maybe want to be an educator in this space. I think there's something here. I really was, to that point where I was getting inspired, and I was, this could be my passion. I think that really became my passion of just teaching and trading and seeing other people succeed.
That totally makes sense. I mean, that's a great way to come into it too. It's basically having people request it so much that you can't help but jump into teaching. So you're still making more money from trading than you do from teaching. Tell me about the most that you've made in a day.
I would say in a day, I made about $250,000, $250,000. So that was my best record day for sure. There's obviously losses, right? You can't just say, there's always, rainbows and butterflies. And just like in the real life, there's a lot of risks involved. And again, going back to being a good risk manager, as long as you're a good risk manager, you're going to be just fine. But, the beginning curve, right? The beginning as a newbie, as a new person learning into a new career or new anything, you're going to make mistakes. So the biggest mistake I've made was, not being humble, right? Like you think that in the beginning when you're winning a lot, you think you own the market, but the market, will humble you when you start thinking, you know what, I can win and I don't have to, I can't ever lose. And that's the wrong mentality. You got to go in with every single trade knowing that, you know what, I could potentially lose, but it's all about having that risk reward, right? If you're good at understanding the concept of risk reward, you're going to come out in the top using the strategies right over time. As long as you know the stock, say, is making higher lows, just like, in life, we go up, we go down a little bit, we go back up, we go down a little bit. As long as you can, punch through those down days and understand that, trusting the process will eventually reward you higher and higher, you're going to be successful. So that's what I did.
I think that's great advice. I think in anything, there are ups and downs, highs and lows. So you're spot on. You've got to manage that risk, right? You've got to keep pushing through. Right now there's perceived to be a lot of risk in the market. The news says we're in a bear market. Everybody's got their hands up and saying, oh, it's impossible to make money. Do you think this market is good or bad for day traders? Or is it kind of, hey, we can make money in any market?
Yeah, a lot of people, the most common people, just read the news, see the news, hear the news about, hey, like the market's crashing, bad time to invest, yada, yada, yada. Again, we're not investing, right? We're just trading these companies, right? So, again, going back, I say this is a very important concept. You got to trade the ticker, not the company, right? We don't care what the company does. Like in trading, we just simply look at the technical analysis and look for certain strategies that work for us. So, we like to look at stocks that, let's say, are lower float stocks, small cap stocks. So it doesn't always have to be these big blue chip companies that are successful like Amazon or Tesla. You could be trading. There's so many small companies out there that are listed, on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. So, once you kind of figure out your niche, right, and find out your trading edge, and you just kind of focus on certain stocks that are, on the certain sectors or that are listed in certain price range stocks, it's about trial and error. If you can just keep on going and figure out, okay, what works and what doesn't, it's all about trial and error, journal, you'll be able to succeed in any type of market conditions. But right now, yes, it is a bearish market condition. So you'll hear a lot about people fearing. So, fear is going to drive away a lot of, participants from the market, but there's opportunities every single day. That's what you guys got to understand. People that are listening right now, watching, as a day trader, you can make, like $10,000 in a day, $2,000 in a day. It depends on obviously how much money you're willing to risk, but there are lots of people making money every single day. And there's so much opportunities that a lot of people can't be sleeping right now. I think everyone in this world needs to learn how to, trade in the stock market.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think to your point, you're an opportunistic trader. You're looking for opportunities constantly, so you have your eyes open. Your eyes are open because you've learned all these things. You're teaching people on prosperity trades, so it's just so ingrained in what you do. But for the newbies among us, the people that are just getting started and they want to trade, to your point, not invest, what are some strategies? What are some ways that you think about making a pick? Give us some high level. You don't have to give away the secret sauce, but give us some high level analysis or things to look for when someone's picking a trade.
I wake up in the morning, I have a scanner that kind of scans out some of the stocks that I particularly like. So you need to figure out, first of all, what kind of, trader you are. You got to find out what kind of style you like, and pick the stocks, pick the sectors that you really like. And become really good at it. But basically, I like to narrow it down to, 1 to 3 stocks that I'm going to be really focusing on and just trade those stocks. So once I find those 3 stocks, I like to find out, okay, where are the support levels? Okay, support, once again, like demand, right? Where are majority of the retail trader or any of the traders out there are looking to buy, and then looking to sell, right? Those resistance levels. So it's very simple. When you pull up a chart, you just draw like a horizontal line. You pick your entry, say you buy at $3 on the stock XYZ, and your entry is at $3, right? So that's your support. What's your target? Say, your target's at $4. So your reward is $1, but then what is your risk? How much are you willing to risk for that $1 move, right? So you would maybe put, $3.75. Why? Because that is the area of, again, the second layer of support, and you're not willing to risk any more below that $3.75. So you're risking 25 cents for that $1 reward. So it's like a very basic thing. If you can become good at reading technical analysis, reading these charts, right? We're not reading into how much money does the company make, because most of these stocks, you got to think about it. We're not just investing or trading into, these big successful companies. You can still make a lot of money trading what I call trash companies, right? A lot of these companies, they're not very successful. They could get delisted, in 2-3 years. But there are so much opportunity to make money by trading, by going in and out. within few seconds, few minutes, within the same day, right? So anyone that has 9-to-5 jobs, you can just pull up a phone, and I think Tradefluence is a great app for that. You got to get a single notification of your favorite traders that, you see them doing well, and you can just go in and out by doing and, mimicking what they're doing. And I think that's a great app that you got started. And obviously, I think for those that want to take it further, Prosperity Trades is where, we teach you guys how to do that, right? Why we do that. And so that you can take it, maybe to your family and generations down the road. So,
yeah, I think that's a great transition. To announce that Tradefluence has partnered with Prosperity Trading as its exclusive education partner. Because again, we're a huge fan of what you guys are doing from a day trading perspective. And we couldn't be more excited for people to learn exactly what you're talking about, how to go in, how to make money, how to scalp some return in the same day. And at first you can get started. You can follow David on Tradefluence and you can see what his scalping account is doing and hopefully pick up some of those returns and learn a little bit more about day trading through that. And then if you're really interested, you can head over to Prosperity Trading and get some of that education that they offer that I would say, hey, if you're a person who has that risk tolerance and it's right for you, this is a great way to learn. From my perspective, one of the things I've heard you talk about a lot is risk management, and there's this perception in the marketplace sometimes that day trading is gambling. What do you think about that? What's your retort to somebody saying, hey, day trading is just gambling?
Anyone has their, own opinions, but personally, I don't see day trading as a gamble, right? Because, there's a lot of strategies that you use, right? So if you think about it, all the successful people in this world, whether, you build your own company or you day trade, whatever you do, no one is successful without taking some sort of risk, right? You cannot become successful if you don't know how to take a risk. So, just like, in walks of life, if you're trying to walk through the sidewalk, there's a risk. If you're trying to drive, there's a risk. So if you're always the type of person that's trying to avoid risk, you're not going to become successful. So if you're a person that, I want to be successful, I want to, take care of my family, I want to take care for my own future, whatever it may be, you got to learn how to become a good risk manager, right? So if you want to become successful day trading, you hear the risk. Yes, there are risks, but if you learn the skills of becoming a good risk manager, the game changes, right? So you cannot look at it as, we're going to the casino, we're going to go in and, press this button, slot machine. Hopefully we win a lot of money. That's not what we do. We go in every day, every morning, we wake up, laser focused, find out the stocks that, we are good at and apply the strategies that we do to get good returns and have good risk management, have good stop losses, and if you can keep doing that every single day and learn and tweak a little bit, you're going to become a very successful stock trader. And the reason why a lot of people don't become successful in this game is because, in any game too, it's just that people are not willing to, first of all, not willing to take the risk, and if they do willing to take the risk, they don't know how to become a good risk manager. They end up losing a lot of money. They blow up their account. And it's normal for a lot of people when they start, right? They are going to be not knowing what they're doing. So I think it's really important that you got to learn first before you earn. If you're coming in this game and you just want to earn without learning anything, your probability is going to be decreased. So if you want to increase your probability of winning in anything, you got to apply the right strategies. You got to learn, and then you're going to earn.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we could not agree with you more. One of the great things about Tradefluence is for those people that are not quite there yet, they're still in that learning phase. It's a great way for you to get those signals and those insights from experienced day traders. And even if after you have learned, you can still follow along and see, hey, what unique insights is David bringing today? That's a tremendous asset as you're getting into this. If you were to give one bit of advice to that brand new person, maybe they're concerned their book size isn't big enough, whatever it is, what advice do you have for that person who's brand new to trading, who's just getting started?
When you're just getting started, there's going to be a lot of information. So, don't overload yourself with too much, taking in all these information. This is why I started Prosperity Trading, because, it took me years to figure out what strategies work for me, right? Instead of, you could be spending, 4 or 5 years going through Google and YouTube trying to figure out what works for you the best. And the thing about it is, it's going to take a long time. So I would say, find a good mentor, find a good trading team. That's what we offer. We're a trading team. So if you join us, you're going to become one of our family members. So, I treat everybody like a family. We want to see everyone that joins to win, right? We want them to learn and earn, and we share ideas. We uplift each other during hard times, and it's just a great community, great group of team members that I think you're gonna really thrive in. So find a good trading team, good trading mentor, whether it's Prosperity Trades or not. But obviously we're one of the best. So we're the best #1 trading community. So we love to have you and see what we offer. And I think finding the right community is the #1 thing. So if you guys can do that, because think about this: when you start, you don't want to start on a bad note, right? You want to start with good habits, and it's so difficult seeing these traders that started with the wrong, information, and it's such a bad habit that they develop that it's so hard. Bad habits are very hard to break. So start fresh by developing good habits, by having good strategies, and over time, it's going to pay, right? So I know it's very, very out there. There's a lot of free information, but what I like to say is when you pay attention, right? So a lot of people out there that just don't want to pay, they want to go to the free route, their success rate is a lot lower. So that's why we offer a paid trading community, mentorships, courses that you guys take, and your learning curve is going to be drastically faster, and you're going to save a lot of time and money and heartbreaks.
Yeah, absolutely. I would 100% agree with you. Find a good mentor, find someone that you can follow, trade with them, watch what they're doing, follow them on Tradefluence. If you want to learn more, go deeper, again, go to our education partner, Prosperity Trading. Those are all great suggestions. Now, this was a tremendous insight for me to hear a little bit more about your background, to hear a little bit more about your trading strategy. If somebody wants to follow you, how can they find you on Tradefluence, on socials, etc.?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on Instagram at Trader Kang, and you can follow me on Twitter at Real Trader Kang, and you can add me on Facebook. You can search up David Kang. I'd love to, if you guys send me a message, I will do my best to, help answer any questions you guys have. So direct message me in any of those platforms, and I will get back to you guys. If you guys want to follow Tradefluence, obviously I'm at Trader Kang as well. So let's make that happen. So hit me up.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today, David. We really appreciate it. All of our members, supporters, followers appreciate it. You have been tremendously successful. I wish you nothing but more success. And again, if you are interested in day trading, you want to learn more, follow Trader Kang on Tradefluence, check him out on socials, and hit him up at Prosperity Trades, the exclusive education partner for Tradefluence. We could not be more thrilled to have an expert like you, a winner like you on the platform. And thank you for taking the time today to educate us all.
Thank you, Peter. I'm really happy to be here. So thank you.